Now we're going to look at some structural construction techniques just to help you with more complicated parts in your sculpture. Okay, first of all, most of the techniques are the same as we used with paper. The slit join, the slot, even the wet mold. You can put cardboard in water. It's also got glue inside, and you can mold it over things. So all of those techniques in paper are available. Just going to quickly review one of them though. This is the tab technique. So say I want to have this standing up straight. You're going to find that these cardboards, the packaging cardboards, are going to cut a lot easier. So those of you that are struggling with the corrugated cardboard, you want to avoid the double corrugated and stick more with the single corrugated or packaging cardboards. It'll be so much easier. I mean, I can cut this no problem. So much easier. So think about what's easiest for you as well. Okay, let's get back to that tab. So I want to have this standing up straight. So I just have to take my scissors and I'm creating tabs going all the way around. Just making little slits, fairly evenly spaced. Okay, then I would just open them up and fold them back, and then I can put them down onto my base, and I can secure it with tape, and then I can make it a lot prettier with the water tape, the wet tape. Okay, so be thinking about your cardboard choices, making sure that you are not creating something that is too difficult for yourself to work with. Another structural device or means is if you are using Elmer's and things aren't sticking up very straight for you, you can create buttresses. So it's like that'll give you a nice secure buttress. It's basically a triangular shape, so you have a 90-degree angle, and it would go in place like that. So you can cut squares, then you go corner to corner, and then you get your hot glue or your glue or whatever else you're using, glue down one side. Be sure you're wiping your hot glue. Setting your buttress pieces up, and then once I have those together, once that's on there nice and tight, I would just put my beads of glue here. Don't forget to wipe at the end, and another bead here. And now I know I am going to have a nice 90-degree angle for my sculpture. Now the one thing that helps with this method is that now the bottom looks nice and clean. I don't have to worry about it because this is a base piece. I don't have to worry about making this look all pretty. It already looks pretty because it comes straight down to the bottom. I know that it's going to be extra strong because I put in an interior buttress. If it's going to be holding more weight, or maybe it's a structural design, you can add more buttresses, however many you need. So that's another technique to make sure that you're getting nice square boxes. And this one is a lot harder. This is the convex concave. So what I want to do for my design is I want this piece, but I want to make it 3D. So I cut one piece and then I put it on top of cardboard and cut an identical piece. So now I have two pieces that I want to join, and I want to give it a top. For starters, I'm going to use packaging cardboard because it's so much easier. It already has some bends in it. Then what you are going to do is you're going to mark off what you need. Okay, so I need a strip this wide. That's how far I want my pieces apart. And I've pre-scored a lot of places. To score, okay, last time we used a book, this time I'm going to use a ruler. To score, you just take your screwdriver or whatever sharpish implement you're using, I'm going to use the tip of this now, and it's just like the knife. I'm putting on pressure, and I'm scoring just like we did with the X-Acto blade. I'm breaking the surface of the cardboard, but because this one is going up and down, I want to make sure, so I'm going to score the backside, and I can see where those score lines are. So I'm just going to go right on top of the score lines so that my bend will flow. Okay, so I've scored the back side and I've scored the underside. So they're double scored, so now it'll have a lot more give to it. And like I said, this cardboard cuts so much easier than other cardboards, so you might want to be thinking of using this especially for parts that are not structural. The parts that are going around that add a little bit more detail, or maybe your tools are just not very good and you have to work with what you've got. So I'm going to make this with the interior of the box showing so that it stays with my brown theme. I don't want to have paper on the outside. I want to leave it all nice and brown so that I can decorate it the way I want. Okay, now how long should that piece be? I wasn't sure, but I sure don't want to score or make extra work for myself. So I have taken a piece of string and I walked it along the edge. I walked it very carefully along the whole edge of my piece so that I'm able to measure it. Now I could use a measuring tape, but I'd find string or ribbon or thread would be a little bit difficult because it's so thin. But I find that that works the best for me. So now I know that I need a piece this long. That'll tell me how much tape I need. That'll tell me how long my cutting piece needs to be. So to create this arch, I need a piece that is this long. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer. And I'm going to cut here and here. So this should fit, but just in case, I'm going to give myself a little extra. I'd rather trim later than find out that it's going to be too small. So it's the length of my string plus a little bit extra, just in case. Okay, now I've got my piece that I want to join, and I am going to take my tape and I'm going to tape it into place. I could use the hot glue gun, but because this is so up, down, I feel that it is a lot easier to tape it into place first. Okay, tape will help hold it, and then I can put a bead of glue or hot glue on the inside. And while I'm taping this, I'm going to pause the video. Okay, I finished taping my side into place, and I did the other side as well, and the other side I covered with the wet tape so that it looks a lot cleaner. So now I'm going to just show you how to do that. But before I do, you'll see that just with the masking tape and with the wet tape, this is pretty strong now. It's really holding its shape quite well. If I was really worried, I could put in a bead of Elmer's glue or hot glue gun, but I'm pretty secure just for a sculpture that I don't plan on really abusing. It's just going to sit off to the side. That's fine. So yes, this is secure, but it's not very pretty. So here's how we can fix that. I've pre-cut some wet tape, and I've got a new paper towel here all ready to go, saturating it with water. And I'm not going to cut the whole big long strip. It's too hard. It'll get all twisted and it's just difficult. So I'm going to get my wet tape wet. The wetter it is, the easier it'll be. This isn't dripping, but the wetter it is, the easier it is to apply. Okay, so I'm going to apply my wet tape to the top section nice and smoothly. Now I'm starting to make a little bit of a curve over here, So I'm going to just snip where the curve is. So this is going to go down to the side, and this can now go straight. Okay, so if it's a straight edge, you can use a large part, but as soon as you start to get a curve, you're going to want to clip. So this is going to be a really tricky curve. I want to get this section done first. So what I'm going to do with that is I am going to pre-fold it so that it'll sit in there nicely. I'm going to measure because I want everything to be in the same line. And so I want it there, and then I am going to mark it with my finger, and I'm going to cut on that center line so that it can splay. Okay, I'm going to get it wet, and I'm going to first feed this into the corner. Set it in there so it's nice and tight in the corner, and then these are going to come out to the side. Okay, so now I have a nice join there. Now this part here is going to be raw cardboard. That's going to be your choice. You can always put wet tape over it, or you can do whatever it is you want. Now this piece here is going to be concave and convex. So again, I'm going to have to trim. What you can do if you don't want to get your scissors sticky is you can place your piece down and you can pre-cut. So I am pre-cutting. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing, I know. Okay, I have pre-cut these pieces so that they're ready to fold over, and the top part is not cut. So I'm going to get that wet again. And I'm lining things up so that it looks relatively neat on top. So that's all, the tape is all nicely in line. Then I'm going to put down my tabs one at a time. Okay, that's not a good one. Okay, this one is going over a hump. It needs another cut. So I am going to divide that up a little bit better and get my join in there. Okay, I can continue all the way up. But let's just say that I've kind of finished and now I'm not liking it here very much. So what you can do is you can come back, and if I want to clean everything up, I can measure, I can put the tape a little bit over. I can draw with a pencil across here, and then I can cut that shape off and glue it down. So I could draw and cut that off the excess. So let's just see what that looks like. I'm using a Sharpie, which a pencil would be better, but that's all I have to grab really quickly. Okay, so I've measured that it looks that shape. I'm going to cut it. And it's maybe not perfect. Remember, this is a homemade sculpture. Add a little bit of water. And now I can clean up this area so that it looks a lot neater on that side. Okay, we're going to talk about decorating sides later, but that's just if I want it to look super clean on this side, so I can cover it up. So this is how you make a concave with cardboard so that you can create all of the different fun shapes that you guys are working on. Okay, if you have any questions, remember you email me and I will help walk you through what to do. I hope you're going to have fun with this project. That's my goal, and enjoy.